Hi friends, welcome back to the Stand Firm series. In our last video, we walked through 1 Peter 2:1-12, where Peter tells believers to stand firm while they wait. Today, I want to take you behind the scenes to the world Peter was writing to, because understanding that world helps us understand the weight of his words. Peter's letter wasn't written to people sitting comfortably in churches like we do today. He was writing to Gentile believers scattered across what's now modern-day Turkey, people who had only recently heard about Jesus. They didn't grow up hearing the stories of Moses or Abraham. They may not have had access to Old Testament scrolls, and most of what we call the New Testament wasn't written yet. All they had was the message they had heard, that Jesus Christ had risen from the dead, and that believing in him had somehow changed everything inside them. That's it. That was the foundation of their faith. Not books, not structure, not centuries of tradition, just the living hope of Jesus. Meanwhile, Emperor Nero was beginning to turn the public against them. Rumors were spreading. Christ followers were being blamed for things they didn't do. They were being vilified, isolated, and misunderstood. And Peter writes this letter to tell them, don't run, don't retaliate, don't lose heart. Stand firm. At this point in history, they weren't even called Christians. That word came later, and not as a compliment. It was a label outsiders used to mock them. But even before they had a name, they had a story. The story of Jesus being written in their lives. Peter tells them, you are living stones, being built into a spiritual house. Even though the world saw them as scattered and powerless, God saw them as the beginning of something beautiful, his church. They didn't need a label to belong, they were being built into love itself. You and I have the benefit of flipping open the Bible, reading Peter's words, and finding strength from them. But imagine standing firm on faith without having any of that. Just the name of Jesus and the change you know he made in you. That's what these early believers did. They stood firm not because they had everything figured out, but because they had met the one who held everything together. So maybe today you don't need to have the perfect theology. You just need to keep building on the cornerstone, the same living stone they built their lives on. If this encouraged you, share it with someone who might need a reminder that they're not alone in the waiting. And be sure to watch the next video in this series, Standing Firm While We Wait. Until then, go with God, and always stay spicy. Reverend Peggy, your pastor on a park bench.